Hello, welcome to this short online session. In this session, we'll have a look at the motor vehicle logbook method. Okay, just a quick introduction about myself. So I've listed all my qualifications here, and apart from normal tax return, tax planning services, we do also provide wealth planning advice or services as well. If you're interested, please don't hesitate to contact us. Okay, before we go to the main content, we just want to mention that the information provided here for general information only. So before making any decisions, please contact an experienced tax agent. All right, so here is a quick introduction about motor vehicle logbook method. So normal procedures. So the step one, you need to keep a logbook. Yeah, we'll delve in a bit more details on how to keep a logbook a bit later. Okay, then you also need to work out your business use percentage. So the way to do it is by dividing the distance traveled for business by the total distance traveled. Okay, but we'll explain a bit later. Yeah, when we have a look at the logbook calculations. And then next step is we add up the total car expenses for the income year, and then multiply the total car expenses by the business use percentage. Okay, so that's a general procedure. Let's have a look at more details. So the motor vehicle expenses including fuel and oil, repairs and servicing, interest on a loan. Yeah, if you do borrow a loan to purchase a car, lease payment, if you're leasing the car, and insurance cover, registration and depreciation. So depreciation is the decline in value. Generally speaking, a small car can be depreciated in 8 years. Yeah, so that's the asset life based on ATO guidelines. All right. So what type of records do you need to keep? Okay. So you need to keep an electronic or pre-printed copy of the logbook. So we do have a template, logbook template. I'll show you the format a bit later. You can also purchase a logbook, I think from any post office. Yeah, you can purchase a hard copy. Then you can just leave it in the car to fill it in. Okay, and you also need the evidence of your actual fuel and oil cost. That's including receipts, okay, and all odometer readings on which you estimate your fuel and oil use. Yeah, so there's some methods you can use to estimate your fuel cost, yeah, based on odometer readings. If you need more details on that, let us know. We can explain to you a little bit later. Okay, then evidence of all your other car expenses. So that's referring to the car expenses we mentioned earlier. Okay, all the expenses listed here. You do need to keep the related evidence. All right. All right. So then, what do you need to keep or record in your logbook? Okay, so you need to have the logbook period begins. So when did you start and end the logbook? Okay, the car's odometer readings at the start and end of the logbook period, the total number of kilometers the car traveled during the logbook period. All right, and then the number of kilometers traveled for each journey. Okay, if you make 2 or more journeys in a row on the same day, you can record them as a single journey. So that's actually a small tip here. You can save a bit of your time. So let's say if a Uber driver goes out in the morning and then come back maybe before lunch, just to have lunch at home. But if the whole morning is traveling around to pick up passengers and he didn't have any private trips, then he can just combine all the trips or the journey as one, just fill in one entry or one journal in the logbook. All right. And in the logbook, you need to record the odometer readings at the start and end of each subsequent income year your logbook is valid for. All right. And then also the business use percentage for the logbook period. So of course, that's more for the calculation. Okay, we can utilize this percentage to apply to the expenses. And then you also need to fill in the make, model, engine capacity, registration number of the car. All right. So, okay. So, okay, this is a typical version of our logbook template. So we actually have a separate return template. Yeah. If you're one of our clients already, in our return template, when you fill in all the expenses, you need to fill in the make and model of the car, or car purchase price, and so information will need to be filled in on that side. Okay. So for this template, you need to fill in the date, okay, duration of the trip, start time, finishing time, odometer rating. So from the odometer rating, the total kilometers can be calculated, and then purpose of the trip. So basically, after the 12 weeks, you need to keep this logbook for 12 weeks. After 12 weeks period, then we can help you to do a calculation. So we'll combine all business-related travel kilometers, and then divide that figure by the total kilometers traveled. Then we can find a percentage. So let's say, for example, if during the 12-week period, you have traveled 10,000 kilometers altogether, then 8,000 was work-related or business-related, then the business-related logbook percentage would be 80%. Does that make sense? So that means you can use 80% to apply to the other expenses to claim as your motor vehicle deduction. All right. Okay. So next thing, let's have a look at the logbook time frame. So if this is the first year you have used the logbook method, you must keep a logbook for at least 12 continuous weeks during the income year. So that 12-week period needs to be representative of your travel throughout the year. Okay. If you started to use your car for business-related purposes less than 12 weeks before the end of the income year, you can continue to keep a logbook into the next year, so it covers the required 12 continuous weeks. Okay. So this is important because sometimes if people bought their car within 12-week period, okay, before the end of the financial year, then they still need to or want to claim deductions using logbook method for that financial year. Then they can actually utilize this rule. Okay. Okay. Also, each logbook you keep is valid for 5 years, but you may start a new logbook at any time. So, valid for 5 years, that's actually with the car. So each car need to have a separate logbook. So let's say if you use a logbook, you have a car for 2 years, and then you need to change a new car. For that new car, you have to start a new logbook. All right. So, and then sometimes people might ask, what circumstances I might want to start a new logbook. Okay, that's when your business percentage increase a lot. So let's say, for example, maybe you had a logbook before from 2 years ago, that's showing 50%. But then in this tax year, suddenly for some reason, okay, or maybe your job requirement, you have to start using your car a lot more. Maybe doing a rough calculation is going to be more like 80 or 90%. then it might be a good time to start a new logbook, because that's going to be more representative of your current travel pattern. Okay, and then also you can claim more deduction from it. Okay, all right. Then if you establish your business use percentage using a logbook from an earlier year, you must keep that logbook and maintain odometer readings in the following years. All right. Okay, and then if your circumstances change, such as a change in the type of work undertaken by your business, you may need a new logbook. All right. All right. Okay. Then what if you want to use the logbook for 2 or more cars? All right. If you want to use the logbook method for 2 or more cars, the logbook for each car must cover the same period. Okay, the 12-week period you choose should be representative of the business use of all cars. Okay, so that's actually covering sometimes it's actually a common question our clients ask us, if in case they use 2 cars for work purposes, yeah, can I claim both of them? Of course you can, but for both of them you need to keep the logbook for the same period. Okay, so you can calculate like 2 separate percentage for each car, then you can calculate expense deductions that way. Okay. All right, then that should be everything. Thank you for attending this session. If you have any questions, our contact details are here. Just let us know anytime. Thank you. We'll see you in the next session.